Recently, I was asked to do my base routine for beginners, so that's what I'm going to do today without the beauty mode. As you can see, my eyebrows are already laid down. I used the e.l.f. Brow Lift. Next, I'm going to go in with this eyebrow pencil that I got from BAL Cosmetics. I'm just going to fill in my sparse areas, and I'm going to do it very lightly. Can you see the difference? Okay, to help improve your base, you need to have good skincare. I promise you, I know a lot of people say that, but it's true. You need to prep your skin properly. Hydration and all of that jazz. Let it sit on your face before you apply product. Don't just put the product directly on top of all your skincare. It's gonna move around. Let it absorb into your skin, and then you go in with your product. After you've done your skincare, the next step is primer. Some people believe primers are gimmicks. I believe that everyone needs a primer. To each his own. I might actually go outside today with my children, so I'm going to use a primer that's going to keep my makeup in place. I'm going to use this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer with the niacinamide. I like to use a brush to apply. Primer is on, and now I look like a glazed donut. Let's continue. In my opinion, easier to blend foundations for beginners are foundation sticks. Today, I'm going to use Thread Beauty. I've been out in the sun, so today I'm going to use shade 140. If I wasn't out in the sun, I would be using shade 130. I put foundation on this side of my face and it's unblended, and this side of my face does not have foundation. Okay, I blended out the foundation on this side. Foundation, no foundation. I'm gonna put the foundation all over my face now, and then I'll come back with the next step. All right, foundation all on. Now let's clean up our brows. For concealer under the brows, I'm going to use this LA Girl Pro Concealer. It's an OG. We've all seen it. We've all used it. This is the shade Suede, I believe. Yes, Suede. I put some on the back of my hand, and I'm going to use a brush that looks like this. I want to pause and remind everyone that you need to take your time. Relax. Calm down. Don't rush. Take your time. All right, I have my concealer, and now I'm going to blend it out with a brush that looks like this. You can also use a fluffy brush, but I like this brush. When I blend my concealer, I like to drag it all the way down my lid to prep for eyeshadow. You don't have to do that. You could just keep it where you placed it and then add an eyeshadow base. I just prefer to do it this way. If you have any harshness here or here, go in with your foundation brush and just tap the edges. Not too much, just enough. Okay, so here's what we look like right now. Now, when it comes to your concealer shades, let's talk about it real quick. A lot of it has to do with preference. Preference. Let me say that again. A lot of it has to do with preference. So if you want a super bright under eye, use a really light concealer, some white powder, right? I've even seen people use white concealer. If you want to look more natural, say in my example, if I wanted to look more natural, I would use that same concealer under my eye. If you want to be bright, but not too bright, not doing too much, you could go a shade lighter than the concealer that you used here. It's about preference. I'm telling you, it's about preference. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild Incognito concealer. This is in the shade medium neutral. It's super light, and I'm going to use it in my inner corners. For the rest of my face, I'm going to use the same concealer that I used under my brows. Now my concealer is placed down. I'm going to wait. I'm going to let it dry down enough, not too much, not completely, but enough. And then I'm going to blend it out. All right, I let my concealer dry down a bit, and now I'm going to go in with this Hard Candy Stay and Slay setting spray. Don't use a lot of setting spray, just enough. And now I'm going to go in with blending. I like to start at my chin, then my forehead, and then under my eyes. When you're blending, you want to use a light hand. Take your time. Do a lot of patting, right? Just, be easy. Don't be so rough on your brush. When it comes to blending your under eye, you want to start at the edges and then work your way closer to the eye. So I'm going to use this same brush to do the edges, and then I'm going to switch to a smaller brush to do closer to under the eye. Alright, so I'm going to use this same brush that I used for my eyelid to get these tighter areas here. With a dense brush like this, I'm not going to use a lot of pressure at all. Otherwise, it's going to lift. Use a very light pressure if you're going to use a dense brush. If you're going to use a fluffy brush, then you won't have that issue. Here are the results for this blend. Now we're going to set. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder in the shade Banana. If you want to use banana, you can use banana if you're my skin complexion or darker. You can use translucent if you'd like, but this is the one that I'm going to choose for today. To apply my powder, I am going to use a triangle puff. What I'm going to do is press the powder into my skin. I'm going to show you gently, not too much pressure, but I am pressing it into my skin. When it comes to powder, I want to say that not everyone needs to bake. Sometimes it's not necessary for you to bake. A lot of times baking is only a preference. If you made it this far in the video, please leave me blue hearts in the comments. The next step is bronzer. In my opinion, powder bronzers are way easier to blend and work with for beginners than creams. So I have two bronzers here. I have the one from ColourPop. It's in the shade Moonlight Beach, I believe. And then I have this one from Fenty Beauty. It is Cocoa Naughty. Cocoa Naughty gives me a very natural, not doing too much, just a kiss of color. Whereas ColourPop pops out. Today, I'm going to use ColourPop. I'm going to use a brush that looks like this. Now, let's talk about placement. This is used to enhance your features, correct? So we are going to enhance our cheekbones. When I was just learning how to do this, my favorite trick was to do this. With that trick, you're able to see exactly where your cheekbones are. I like to start here and then blend this way and up. At this stage, you're probably worried about harshness. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you how to fix it. I'm also going to dust a little on my forehead here. I put the bronzer to the side for now. I'm going to show you how to correct these harsh lines. Use a clean, fluffy brush like this and simply go over the harshness. Very lightly, go over the harshness. When you do this, try to focus on the area where the two products meet and try not to disturb each product too much. Here's what this looks like now. Next step is blush. You can honestly use any blush you want. Some people think because they're darker skin or lighter skin that blushes, a certain shade of blush won't look right on them, and I'm here to tell you you can use any shade of blush you'd like. Today I'm going to use this ColourPop blush in the shade Forever Yours. I'm using an angled brush that looks like this, and I'm going to place it right here and drag it up. Oh my God, Christina, this looks crazy. Okay, use that same clean brush that you had no product on and blend it out like I showed you before. Now, this looks beautiful. At this stage, you could spray your face, set it, let it sit, you could be done. However, I want to brighten this up a little bit more, so I'm going to use a brightening powder. I forgot to contour my nose, so let's do that. I'm going to use the Fenty bronzer. I wanted a cute little button nose. Did it work? Okay, now I'm going to go with my brightening powder. This one is LA Girl Pro Setting Loose Powder. It's in the shade Soft Pink. All right, now I'm going to add my moles, which by the way are completely optional. Next step is the spray down. I'm actually going to use two setting sprays. It's the Hard Candy that I used before and then the Morphe. So I'm going to use Hard Candy first and then Morphe. Be sure to let each one dry down before using the next. I really need a fan. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you want to use a highlighter, you know how I just used two sprays? So the first one I let dry down. That would be the time I would then apply my highlighter and then do another spray down. Anyways, so here are the results. Let me zoom in. This video is definitely over 9 minutes long. I deeply apologize, but I did not want to do two parts. I hope that you made it to the end, and I hope that you found this video very beneficial and helpful for you. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, also let me know.